Have you ever wondered, am I feeding my newborn too much or not enough? Because here's the truth. Feeding your baby the wrong way can lead to more crying, poor sleep, and even slow weight gain. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how often to feed your newborn with confidence. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a new parent trying to figure things out one step at a time, you're in the right place. And before we dive in, take a second to subscribe and turn on notifications, because on this channel, we make parenting simpler, calmer, and more confident for you. The simple truth about newborn feeding. Let's start with something very important. Newborns don't follow a strict schedule. In fact, trying to force a newborn into a schedule is one of the biggest mistakes new parents make. Instead, newborns feed based on hunger, growth needs, comfort. So instead of watching the clock, you need to learn to watch your baby. So, how often should you feed your newborn? Here's the general guideline. Every 2 to 3 hours. That means about 8 to 12 feedings in 24 hours. Yes, even at night. And yes, it can feel exhausting. But this frequent feeding is completely normal and actually very important because your baby's stomach is tiny. Breast milk and formula digest quickly. Your baby needs constant energy for growth. Why newborns need to feed so often? Let's break it down simply. A newborn stomach on day 1 is about the size of a cherry. By day 3, it's like a walnut. And by 1 week, it's about the size of an egg. So imagine this. You can't expect a tiny stomach to hold enough food for long periods. That's why frequent feeding is not a problem. It's exactly what your baby needs. Feeding based on hunger cues, very important. Instead of waiting for your baby to cry, look for early hunger signs. Sucking on hands, lips smacking, turning head rooting, becoming more alert or restless. Crying is actually a late sign of hunger. And feeding a crying baby is much harder. So the goal is simple. Feed early, not late. Breastfeeding versus formula feeding. Let's talk about the difference. Breastfed babies feed more often, every 2 to 3 hours or even more. Breast milk digests quickly. Cluster feeding is common. Formula-fed babies may feed every 3 to 4 hours. Formula stays longer in the stomach, slightly longer gaps between feeds. But here's the key. Every baby is different. Always follow your baby's signals first. Should you wake a sleeping baby to feed? This is a big question. In the early weeks, the answer is yes, sometimes you should, especially if your baby is underweight. Your doctor advised frequent feeding. Your baby sleeps longer than 3 to 4 hours. Once your baby is gaining weight well, you can usually let them sleep longer. But in the beginning, feeding regularly is more important than long sleep stretches. Signs your baby is not feeding enough. Watch out for these. Fewer than 6 wet diapers a day. Constant sleepiness or weakness. Poor weight gain. Dry lips or mouth. If you notice these signs, it's important to talk to a healthcare provider. Signs your baby is feeding well. Now here's what you want to see. Steady weight gain. Regular wet and dirty diapers. Babies seem satisfied after feeding. Active and alert when awake. If these are happening, you're doing great. Understanding cluster feeding. Now let's talk about something that confuses many parents. Cluster feeding. This is when your baby wants to feed very frequently back to back, especially in the evening. It can feel like, why is my baby always hungry? But here's the truth. It's normal. It helps growth. It helps increase milk supply. So instead of worrying, see it as your baby preparing for a growth spurt. Common mistakes to avoid. Let's quickly go over mistakes. Feeding strictly by the clock. Ignoring early hunger cues. Assuming crying always means hunger. Overfeeding just to stop crying. Comparing your baby to others. Remember, your baby is unique. Your baby has their own rhythm. Pro tips for easier feeding. Here are some practical tips. Keep a simple feeding log, especially in early weeks. Stay hydrated if breastfeeding. Burp your baby after feeding. Create a calm feeding environment. Trust your instincts. You're learning every day. Encouragement for parents. If you're feeling tired, confused, or even overwhelmed, that's completely normal. Feeding a newborn is one of the biggest adjustments you'll ever make. But here's something you should remember. You are not failing. You are learning. And your baby is growing because of you. If this video helped you understand your newborn better, don't forget to subscribe and share it with another parent who needs this. And tell me in the comments, how often does your baby feed right now? Because every little moment matters. Caring for your baby one day at a time.